this is crazy. I did a reading for you guys a couple days ago, right? It was like, don't slip back. So for those of you who heard that reading, you must have been meant to hear that reading. So somehow the file got deleted completely off of my YouTube posting. All right. So now I have to redo the Libra reading. Interestingly enough, there's some things we might need to talk about because so last night I went out with a friend and I love her dearly. She's one of my very bestest friends, Emily. And we were out and we were interacting with all these people while we were shooting pool. And it was interesting because there was this really musical guy that was there. I don't know where he came from. Very nice guy. I think he said his name was Alexander. So if Alexander, you catch me on here, I've given you props today for a song choice that you made on the jukebox. And I've not been able to forget it. I've known this song from many years ago. It's by the Butthole Surfers. I know if you're under 18 and you can't handle the word butthole, I'm sorry. Get off my channel because this is not meant for you. But anyway, the Butthole Surfers did a song, and I can't remember the name of it, but I need to tell you these lyrics right here because there's a point. I don't know why, but I feel like this is supposed to be part of this reading, and I haven't even pulled cards yet. So we're going to find out. I have learned to go with the flow like this, okay? So the words that kept sticking out to this song that have always stuck out to me, but in a different way this time, because I realized the conversations that were going on and the way things were moving last night. They were all in love with dying. They were drinking from the fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you on my clothes. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes. They were all in love with dying. They were drinking from a fountain, pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes. So, they were all in love with dying. Think about that. Everybody you talk to, especially religious people, they're not in love with dying, so you say, but they talk about you're dying just like something that you would love. Some people, I don't know if you've met these people that just go out into the world and they talk about, like, try to move you in a better direction in your life by talking about what might happen with fear in your death. Why are we doing that? Because the next song that came to my head is, if you ain't loving, then you ain't living. George Strait, I think. Anyway, the point is that we live. We are living here on this earth. We were appointed to live a life abundantly. Are you living your life in fear of what might happen when you die? Because if you are, you're looking way too far out. Or if you're living your life because of, in defense of what happened behind you, well, then you're not really living, are you? The sun that comes out every day, it's the same sun that comes every day but it shines a new light on a new day. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It got dark and it got daylight again. And you don't have control over that. What you have control of is how that you look at the world that you are living in. Okay? So, that's my spiel to start out with. That's 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's get to your reading. And if you have stuck around to listen to this reading, or maybe you skipped ahead, if you skipped ahead and you're about to watch these cards, well, you missed out on an epic intro. Get a sip of this coffee. See what the Energy Oracle has for our living Libras out there. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. That's the remnants of the night before. And then it's a new day. All that was left was the remnants. What pieces of it do you want to take to tomorrow? What messages do we have for our Libra collective today? You just completed something, Libra. Congratulations. I know that was hard. It was probably really, really hard. You got the world, babe. The world is the 11 card. You know why it's the 11 card, which breaks down to 2? It's the 11 card. Okay, completion is a 10, right? That means all the lessons are learned, whatever the end is. But the world goes all the way around. The sun comes up again in the morning when it's a new day. It's a new start, and you're on the 1. That's why it's 11. For you, you completed something. You're on a new path. Look to your community and celebrate. That's the number 7. Interesting other factor. Met another very epic individual named JP last night. Gemini guy. Shot pool with him. This was a very, very kind gentleman. And I would say I made a new friend within the community here. But it goes to show you that you never pass by an opportunity to wait and get to know someone. Let me turn these notifications off right now because I forgot again. Sorry, folks. Give me just a second. Okay. Perhaps we can do this right now. So sorry for the interruption. That was weird. All right. I need to make sure that these notifications are off because it never fails. Somebody tries to call every time we get into recording. Anyway, yes. So I met JP in the community last night. It was a fun time. He had a friend named Manir that had came to America over the Jordan River. Anyway, very interesting, folks. And it was interesting, too, because if you listen to the lyrics of that Butthole Surfer song that I was talking about in the intro, it talks about people from Texas and Dallas, and the guy that played the Butthole Surfer song, we were having a whole conversation about the state of Texas and what happened in Austin, and that he was from Dallas. It was just, that was like Okay. So, and then back to this card, which is the number 7, right? So the JP guy pointed out the sequence of the number 777 that kept coming up in his life, and it was on one of the signs, which is a drink or a beverage that is sold, or I don't know enough about it, but anyway, he was pointing to that, and I thought that is so crazy that we're even having that conversation, because I was just looking at the number 7. So you might want to take a look at the number 7 and see if that number 7 is going to be significant for you some way, somehow, in what's going on. I was going to use these cards, but for some reason I don't feel like I'm going to use those. I think I'm going to start with this tiny little light seers. That's what we're going to do the reading with, and then we'll clarify with the Rider-Waite. What do you think? I think it's good. So what's going on in relationships, love, and life for our Libra collective? So much that we had to do another reading for our Libras. What is at the base? Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides. What's at the bottom of this for Libra? Well, they need to know for their highest good. Interesting, the moon is coming in sideways. All right, so this is progression now, because the moon in the last reading was in the upright. The thing about the moon, it's Cancerian energy, but that's like if back and forth, but you about made a decision, and interestingly enough, it's turned toward the light side. You might have been dealing with shadow walking, shadow teetering. I had said recently everybody needed to get off the fence. We were fence sitting in that collective reading, and you might be leaning on to that direction, and that might have been because of this cycle ending. Getting out into the community and expanding your horizons a little bit will cause you to do things like that, right? What's crossing that energy for our Libra collective? Or you might be dealing with a Cancerian. Who knows? Interesting. So the Empress. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. No, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. This is a Taurus, Libra, or Aries energy. But it's feminine. But it's in the reverse. Crossing the moon, which is sideways. This is a topsy-turvy reading, Libra. I kind of feel like the back and forth of this is you're almost not sure if you're making the right steps or not. You're not, there's a confidence thing here. That could be why this is coming in reverse too. It doesn't feel manipulative in this reading at all. What it feels like that I'm getting off of this is more of a, I don't feel worthy. I don't feel like I'm there yet. It feels like it's an inner feeling. And the reason I say that, okay, is the artwork in these cards. There's a similarity in these two women. They're both feminine, I'm noticing this time around. Notice the world in the Empress's belly. She's pregnant with the world. And we got the world here. Now, do I think you're pregnant? No, unless you're fertile, and that's a reverse. So some people want to take that literally and say, somebody might be miscarrying. No, I'm not going to say that. That's BS to me, because I don't feel that at all on this card. What I think, Libra, is that I think that you may have been disappointed in the past by an idea that you had that may not have came up to fruition. It puts you in this moon energy where you were back and forth between, do I just put up all my walls and block everybody out, or do I keep the light coming in? Just like that song, I don't mind the sun sometimes in the images it shows. It's hard to move forward sometimes, especially if we were disappointed by something in the past. When we had built ourselves up, we were pregnant with a huge idea. This is about ideas and expansion. This woman is trying to grow an empire, and you had this great idea. Well, you win some and you lose some, right? And that might be what was happening here, and that's the emotion that I feel off of this. As an intuitive reader, that's how that works. So let's see what brought us up to that point. So this is the recent past. Question, Spirit, show us the recent past for Libra. Maybe we didn't there was a lack of judgment about something our higher self was trying to tell us in the recent past. We'll clarify that with that other deck. This reading is very interesting so far. These cards are kind of dark too. Show us what are in the hopes and dreams for our Libra. What are they hoping and dreaming for? The wheel. This is, I don't know if I'm ready for this wheel to turn or not, but I know it's coming anyway. So you're trying to prepare, trying to get yourself in a headspace where it's okay for you to be okay with that wheel turning. You're trying to catch up with the energy that might be trying to outrun you right now. That Aries, eclipse could have really put the hammer down on that energy. I know I felt it. It's starting to back off a little bit now, and now we're going to loosen up the reins a little bit. We're dipping our toe into the community just a little, and we're going to maybe allow that wheel to turn. Show us the fear that Libra has. I'm sorry, I'm getting in your business, Libra. But let's see what that fear is at the bottom of this reading for the Libra I'm talking to today. So this is an I don't know position too. Because it's sideways in the direction that it's sideways. For me, is that we've been feeling for a while, and we've been afraid for a while that our 10 of Pentacles is not coming in. This is full happiness, abundance, and the money that you need for your life to keep on thriving instead of just surviving. This is, there's almost become a fear that you won't ever get out of survival mode, but your goals are high. They have been for a while. In this position, we also could be fearing the fact that we may have missed the boat a little bit, or that the wheel's going to turn and tip it over. That's the fear. All right. So if you've made an accomplishment, you might be fearing a loss of that here with the way this card's reading as well. As much as I've talked about Dunkin' Donuts between Facebook and here, they should have put me on the Super Bowl commercial. I'm just kidding. Ben Affleck did a great job. And Matt Damon. And Lopez, of course. J-Lo. Hey, girl, hey. Anyway, let's move along, citizen. What's coming in the near future for our Libra collective that's watching today? Seven of Swords. Now look, Libra, don't be lying to yourself or lying to others now. What is this about? We're going to have to clarify that Seven of Swords. Remember I said the seven? Seven. If I get a number 7, this is about numbers and not lies. What else for Libra? 2 cards. Well, you can take a number 7 and you could subtract 8. Then you're in the -1. That brings me back to the note that I wrote in Libra about don't fall backwards. Don't go backwards. We're not trying to relearn same lessons over again. Your fear of the sun coming up the next day, your fear of the new thing, your fear of moving out of the 6 into the 7, can very much block you from having that baby right there. Then you've got a masculine emperor coming in reverse here. So Libra, you are either dealing with Aries, Taurus. The thing about these 2 people, if these are 2 different people, is they're actually in alignment. You may be aligned, if this is you, with an emperor who's sitting energetically in the very same headspace that you are, and you don't know it. Libra, Taurus, Aries. Okay? One of them. You could be either one of these people, or this could be aspects of yourself. If it is, then you're in the reverse. There's, with 7 of Swords, there may be some manipulation, some lies going on, either to yourself or others, or things might be a little fuzzy right now. Fear is getting in the way of all these. So you need to look and see where your triggers are, what you're afraid of. You may need a little bit of healing. There's something we're not communicating here. We're going to clarify that and see what we got to turn this around, because we want these emperors and empresses to be in the upright. These people are established. They know how to do everything that they need to do. Are they, though? What's an outside influence here for our Libra collective? We don't feel like we have enough money coming in. Our stability's off. That's a feeling for the near future. Can we get some kind of clarification on that one? Spirit, what do you mean by that? There's some kind of truth that we're missing, that we're not looking at. And that may have something to do with the 7 of Swords, because I'm noticing the birds flying in here. A new idea of truth, or not taking... I mean, this has already come across our path. We know it in our head. It's a page. It's not an ace. So it's not an aha moment. It's a, yeah, I see it. I'm ignoring it right now. Yes. But you're ignoring the very opportunity that might turn your Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Or else there's a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn feminine in the way of a new start here. What's the potential outcome here? If we don't get this together, there's not going to be a higher commitment. This Taurus energy is coming in the reverse here completely. No higher commitment, no home, moving, or anything. And see, there in that last reading, that set of Libras was looking at one. But that reading is gone. So we ended a cycle, but we're trying not to go back. Anything that Libra needs to know in elaboration to this outcome? Anything else? Okay, so 10 of Wands. This is when you have learned your final lesson. And it came in sideways just like this. So we're twisting that lesson just a little bit. We see the lesson. We're choosing to stick around in it just a little while longer. Like we're dipping our toes into the darkness a little bit. Like we're going there on purpose. That's why that song is saying, I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. So there's still something sticking around. It's sticking in your craw from the past. It's blocking future movement. You want these 10 of Wands and this Hierophant to be in the upright. You would like to have the commitments. Spirit, what does Libra need to do? What's the advice? What does Libra need to do here? Have the confidence to be in receipt of blessings. I noticed the way that I just did this. Okay, see how she's got her wand up and her hand out. And the way that these cards are laying, she's looking right over here at the 10 of Pentacles. And she's also looking at this wheel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them up and I'm going to look at these like this. This is Spirit saying, Libra. Libra, I want you to welcome the new change that you already see in your wheelhouse. Libra. It's here, baby doll. If it ain't here in your spectrum right now, it is coming. You can't stop the wheel from turning. That was in that last reading too. This just needed to be tweaked a little bit. And you know why? Because I think that Aries energy was pushing everything very fast. And when I did that reading, we were still in that eclipse energy. And it's moving like Aries does, quickly. So we had to get up to par. The people who watched it were in the midst. And now here we are trying to turn this energy around for the best possible outcome. Because all of this is possibilities. This is Spirit saying, don't lie to yourself. Keep your communication open. Your masculine energy does not need to go in reverse right now. Now is not the time. You know? And you have the power within yourself to change it all around. You don't have to take what's just given out. All that stuff you left behind, they were all in love with dying. They were drinking from a fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain. You don't got to drink from that death juice. You're alive, baby. What is this lack of judgment that we had in the recent past for our Libra collective? Yep, we were ignoring the new offer. Remember what I said? Over here, we had this page that was in the reverse. I said pages come after an ace. We weren't looking at it. I don't see you. I can't see you. I don't want to see you. So we're afraid of the wheel turning, the new coming, the new thing. We're afraid. Why is the Empress in reverse, Spirit? This is, I keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. I can see my ships coming. This is, I'm so tired. This is the lack of patience. This is, I'm tired of waiting. I don't see anything coming. I don't see it. You didn't want to look at the opportunity that was there. So this turns your Empress in reverse. Almost blocked off everything for yourself. What does that happen? That if Spirit sees you block off like that, and they'll be like, okay, well, looks like we're going to have to repeat because they want to do another round. They don't want the world to turn, so we'll just give them more of the same thing. How about we just bring something else in and let them go through that lesson again? We hate to see it. We wanted forward movement, but here we go. Get along now, little doggy. Because that's what you can manifest because you have free will, right? So how can we turn this around? That's the question. What's this Seven of Swords that we're looking at in the near future if we're not careful, Spirit? Show us the Seven of Swords. What's that about? There's a lie also about somebody wants to communicate with you and they're not doing it. You know it too. You know it, and you're not going to be the first. That's why this energy is in reverse, because you're like, I'm sitting on my throne. Dude, you can come to me this time. That's what that means. And this Ten of Wands, the way it came in sideways, just like this Ten of Wands did. So we don't want to see that this lesson has been learned, it's done, it's over with, and we're trying to not have to look at it. This Seven of Swords is looking straight out at both of these Ten of Wands, okay? What's this Eight of Wands about in the reverse, Spirit? Yep. We're not being honest. We're not communicating about what our true happiness or where it lies or about the Ten of Cups that we want to have. Also completion here. There's a whole thing about completion. Why is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse? Same thing. Page of Swords in the reverse. It's clarifying the same thing. So that's a clarification that I was very correct about what I said earlier about this Queen of Pentacles. Not wanting to look, not wanting to take on the new opportunity, procrastination, and the wheel not turning. The wheel is over here. Remember? All right. So my reading is correct. We've clarified all that. Give us some advice, Spirit. Besides this Queen of Wands, what else can our Libra Collective do to turn around this thing? There's that page. All right. Accept the new opportunity. Because what this has already came. Take the new opportunity. Where's this new opportunity coming from? Just for clarification for our Libras, who's it coming from? Show us who it's coming from. Death and rebirth cycle, possibly a Scorpio that's out in the cold. Or it's the opportunity to leave a Scorpio behind. Allow the cycle to come through. Accept the help that's here. Anything else about that, Spirit? You have a hope, a dream, and a healing. You may also have a Leo energy coming in. There's Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio here. I'm also noticing there is a decision being made. You're faced with a decision. This decision is looking at an Aquarius and a Leo. It's almost like that you have a mission and a purpose that involves a Leo and an Aquarius Who is this Leo individual that keeps coming up in the Libra readings? There's a lion to be tamed. There's something to be done here. There's an infinity loop. I'm drawn to the infinity loop over this. And the sun that's coming up in the song, the sun rules Leo. That's why when I see the sun card, I think of Leo. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. Is there a Leo in your life, or a Leo that you know that you run from a little bit? Oh my gosh, look what's at the bottom of this deck. Gemini card, the Lovers. There's a choice in love here. There's a choice in relationship. There's a choice to possibly walk away or not walk away. There's that other 7. Here's a 7. Here's a 7. 7, 7, 7, 7. 4 7s. Come to the number 28. 8 and 2 is 10. That's completion. So Libra, there's a decision to be made here. You put the pieces where they belong. Libra, Taurus, Aries, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio are on the table. You've heard the reading. You put the pieces where they belong. But the skinny of it is that you cannot fear the living part of living. That means things fall away and things come back. Or new things come. And your fear that holds you back from forward progression is exactly what will destroy your hopes, your dreams, and the strength to have to go forward. And to make a decision to be strong toward your dreams, hopes, goals, and things like that. It takes a very strong person to go through a death and rebirth cycle. We go through many of them in our lifetime. We are regen. They say the body regens every 7 years. There's that number again. You're not the same person you were 7 years ago. You're not the same person you were a year ago. 2, 3, go on and on and on. We change, we evolve. You have to allow your life to do the same. You can't stay in the same place. Can't stay in the same, believe it or not, relationships all the time. Because if you do, you never grow from that. Especially if 2 people hermit away together forever and they don't get out into the world. People need people. So Libra, you are Libra. You are meant to be the scales of justice in this world. The balance, the judgment calls that are made, you should be making the first ones, especially about relationships. All right? So let's get a one more piece of advice from our spiritual deck that I'm loving right now because it is great spiritual practice, and see what it is that Spirit wants Libra to work on until the next reading. The butterfly I'm noticing is here. That is also a symbol of rebirth. Think about how that the butterfly comes into perspective. Also, this is about creative expressions, okay? Creativity is not only a way of expressing your personality and spirit to the outside world, it's a great way to disconnecting your analytical mind so you can reconnect with the creative, expressive, and intuitive side of your brain. I mean, guys, we are air signs. Okay, let's get real about it. We're air signs, and we are the most expressive, but not really expressive, so to speak, on Libras. Geminis are super expressive, but analytical was definitely. I mean, we're right up there with a Virgo. And you get us all together in a room, like me, I'm a Libra, Gemini, Virgo. There's depth, planning. It's insane. That air energy that floats around with that Virgo energy. So, like, I am a go getter, one way or the other. And so this says, as children, we started our lives by freely using the more creative right side of our brain. And as we got older, as a result of schooling and societal conditioning, there was a tendency to pull away from our right side and rely more on the intellectual left. So intuition floats on the edge of creativity. That's why it's a spiritual gift to be musical, to any of those things. So you're being called right now to use your creativity in order to build in your life. So do something creative, such as taking a class where you can practice sketching, drawing, writing, painting, coloring, making pottery, or whatever works for you. You know, there's got to be this one thing. Like, I was into photography for the longest time. And, just different things. I love to redo old furniture, things like that. But being creative can be quite meditative in its own way. Okay. So as you develop your psychic and mediumship potential, it can help you to train yourself to let go of logic and trust the information you're receiving, whether it's a psychic information or messages from spirit. Every psychic and medium uses the vast imaginative nature of the right brain to achieve a higher altered state. This is what's known as the artist's mind. It's a special place where communication is pure and authentic. And that's something that we look at with these sevens and the lessons that we learn in our life, is being purely authentic to who you are, not who everybody else has conditioned you to want to be. And that includes these relationships that are in our life. I'm looking at a Libra today that is going through a cycle, an ending, a rebirthing of themselves, and they're afraid of what's in the future. They're afraid to step into this new, very much so. But what you don't see is the abundance on the other side of it. So you've got to be brave. You can do this, Libra. You can. Whatever it is for you, it's okay to be out of the box, but don't get stuck in the monkey mind. Don't get stuck here where you are teetering back and forth and overthinking every single move that you make, because you can overthink yourself right back into a repeat lesson, and you don't want that. So like this note said before for my Libra on the last reading, there are pieces of it. Don't slip back. Don't do it, Libra. You get another warning, another week. Because last week was the Libra reading, and now I'm having to redo it. So Libra gets another week. Congratulations. So, to all you out there, thank you for coming. Sorry this is such a long reading, but there's important messages for my Libra collective out there. We are on the precipice of new things. So if you're still hanging in here, just to let you know, thank you for coming. Much love and light to you from Southeastern Soul Tribe, and until next time, mwah.